3, 2, 1.
Perfect.
Oh shit! I don't even have my notes open or anything. But I guess we're talking about that next Halloween movie that's following one of the best sequels ever made. And this movie,
Yeah, we'll get
all I got to
there.
say about this before we get started is, Evil dies tonight.
Oh God! If I ever hear that, well, I say if I ever
Evil
hear
dies
that
tonight,
again.
Keith.
Evil dies tonight.
You're gonna hear it over the next hour, my friend. You're gonna hear it at least a dozen more times
Yeah.
before we're
Because
done
Evil
talking
dies
today.
tonight.
Uh-huh. It certainly does.
So, welcome to Screen Share and Chill,
Nope.
a podcast
Nope.
about movies.
Nope.
Oh, you're right. Oh my God, I do this every time. Welcome to Scream Share and Thrill.
Yeah, it's very good.
I'll get it down by February. We're doing the Halloween series. We just got done doing a series of series where everybody got to pick a series of movies that we watched the whole series. And this is ending out. Keith chose for Halloween this year for his series because he got less as the year went. He decided to do the Halloween. What do they call this trilogy of movies? Does it have its own name?
It's referred to as the David Gordon Green trilogy, most commonly.
Wow, that just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? That's
the DGG trilogy.
it. Really conjures up image of Michael Myers and the wrestle with Laurie Strode.
Well, the David Gordon Green Halloween trilogy. There we go.
Oh, that much better. Thank you. That's I'm inspired to rewatch this movie again after.
I'm confused because I thought this was the only Halloween trilogy. I mean, that is what I was told.
Yes, as far as you need to know, that's correct. We don't need to worry about the other ones.
We're like you're petting Jamie's head, going, "Shh, it's okay. It's okay. Just
didn't you see the
just go
chart?
back into your corner."
Please refer to the chart.
Thank you,
Oh
Adam,
my
for
God.
the chart.
I was not on enough psychedelics to fully understand how that chart flows, but it's fine. But yeah, so we're doing Halloween Kills, which is the middle child of this trilogy of movies. And from what I kind of picked up on from you before we got to the point of watching them, this was the weaker one. That 1 and 3 in this trilogy were the stronger points of the series, right?
Yes, I often refer to this as, it's kind of funny, but I refer to this as the Last Jedi of this Halloween trilogy. And I love The Last Jedi.
Ooh,
And
I was going to say, I love it.
Yeah, I'm not referring to this as the Last Jedi of this trilogy because it's good. I'm taking the stance of the fandom menace when I say that this is the Last Jedi of the Halloween trilogy.
The fandom did not appreciate this movie, you're saying?
No, the fandom loved this movie. I am somewhat at odds with the fandom, yes.
Oh, I understand now. Wait, they love this movie?
Oh yeah. I mean, to put it in perspective, as far as slasher movies go, this is a great slasher movie. As far as movies go, I'll get into that a little bit better. But
it just feels like such a different movie than the first one.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, like, this feels like what you were talking about. I'm not as familiar with Friday the 13th, but you said Friday the 13th is a little bit more campy than the Halloween series. This feels like the kind of movie that would fit into that.
It has been said, the fans of the movie even acknowledge, they're like, man, I loved Halloween Kills. It's the best Friday the 13th movie in decades. That's literally like a talking point about this movie.
But isn't that I don't know, it seems like the fandom would be the first ones to pick up a pitchfork for this because that was a hard little series of words to say, pick up a pitchfork. Anyway, the reason why I'm saying that, imagine if I told you that Star Trek 17 was the most Star Trek movie I've ever seen. That sounds like an insult coming from a Star Trek fan, even though I like both, but I don't know. Hey, whatever. If they enjoyed it, God bless them. I will say that it felt it had a very different tone for me.
Yeah.
And that threw me off because I really enjoyed the first one.
Somebody should enjoy it.
I don't really like run an actual, in-person circles of Halloween fandom per se. I'm gotta just go by Reddit consensus, which is yeah. So the people of Reddit really, really like this one. And the people of Reddit fans of Halloween, they want to see Michael Myers killing people in fun ways, and the one thing this movie does well is gives you that. So I understand while not being in tandem, I guess.
And Reddit is as random as the sea, too. I have literally seen, like, I'll be a member of a couple subreddits where somebody will bring up a point, on Tuesday, and I will say what I have to say about that, and I'll get upvoted like 15 times. Like, yay, the community agrees with me. Somebody makes the exact same post like 5 days later. I say the same thing in response, and I get downvoted to hell. And I'm like, what the?
Yes.
Why?
Uh-huh.
Whatever.
But yes, very different movie than the last one, which is a fantastic sequel, a fantastic Halloween movie. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. So it was 3 years later since the first Halloween in this version of the offshoot from the original trilogy, number one of this trilogy, right? Because that was 2018 and this is 2021.
Oh, you mean in
tell,
actual
that's
3
years?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm talking about production-wise, yeah. Okay. And the budget was $20 million, so it's still really low budget. And I guess that's one of the allures of making horror movies, is that their budgets are usually pretty low in comparison to, like, you compare this like to Matrix 3, and that was like 120 million or something like that. So, I don't know. Maybe it's just smart business to make the cheap killer movie.
That's how a lot of studios start. Is like New Line Cinema started with horror movies.
New Line Cinema of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fame.
Yes, and Nightmare on Elm Street.
That's how I don't know about that, but that's how I remember New Line Cinema, is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie we read.
Did they also produce the second Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie?
They sure did.
It's interesting that you bring that up, because there was never a second movie made.
Yeah,
those of us fans are dying for them to make a TMNT too.
Yeah.
Kawabunga. Anyways, the box office, according to Wikipedia, was 133 million. So they made just over 6 times their money back. But these numbers are always so fudged, so who knows? It could be much higher.
This was also
the budget could be much higher.
A pandemic co-release, theaters and streaming. So I'm sure that affected box office somewhat.
Yeah, and they're never going to be transparent about their streamer numbers, so we're never going to be able to compare movies from this era.
Right.
Like Matrix 4, like how do we... They say, oh, well, the numbers were incredibly lower than that. And I'm like, that's odd, because everybody I know watched it. We just watched it on HBO or something like that.
Exactly.
I know more people that watch 4 versus 3, but nobody counts, whatever. Let's see. What was you say the reception was pretty good. Do you remember, like, when it came out, where were all the people, like, cheering yay for the new Halloween movie? Was it immediately liked, or did it grow on people?
Yeah, no, there was a pretty general positive because of the horror aspects, the kills. Everyone loved the death scenes and all that stuff. So there was as far as online,
the door into the nurse kill was totally worth the price of admission. Just for the what the fuck did I just? Oh, okay, yeah.
For the record, she was actually the doctor.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, but she was dressed up as the nurse, and I thought that was a really cute costume. By the way, we're not even in the good, bad, and ugly, and I don't know if this would count, but I love that. That was a nice little. So, listener, basically, there was a husband and wife, or a couple, or whatever, and they were at the Halloween party or costume party, and the husband was dressed as a doctor, and the wife was dressed as a sexy nurse. And then when they introduced themselves, it turns out that their actual professions were reversed, and he is the nurse and she is the doctor. And I thought that was yeah, that's cool.
Good couples costume.
Yeah. Well, speaking of which, if you have any other side information, share it with us. Otherwise, I think it's time to talk about stuff.
Yes, it's time to talk about the good.
I have quite a few good notes, not gonna lie. Starting off, I enjoyed the music in a lot of places. For example, when they start off and they have flashbacks, and we're seeing flashbacks to 1978, and the actual music from 1978 is playing. Like,
yes,
it's not a reinvented, it's not a reimagined. No, it's literally the exact same soundtrack. You can hear the tinny whining of the old synthesizers and stuff like that. Like, it was perfect. I thought that was a nice touch, and more movies should do that. Just pull your own fucking soundtrack and use it if you're referencing that movie. Let's hear what it sounded like when we watched it.
The flashback in general for me, it's filmed on old film, and they have film grain. It looks like 1978. They recreated the mask almost perfectly. They got a pretty good facsimile of Donald Pleasance as Dr. Loomis going on in there. It's very good.
The voice was good.
Yeah.
Yep. Jamie, give us one of your goods.
Well, on top of agreeing with all of that, I enjoyed seeing what happened after the first movie.
Him being caught? Yeah.
It took over right where we left off.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the whole aftermath of what actually happened. after the movie ended and life went on, we got to see what happened, which you don't always get, and that was kind of a cool closure, and I liked that they did that.
Yeah, well, the credit scene isn't anywhere near as good as the first one, but the build up to it, where they're all standing outside, it mimics the shot from the original Halloween, where he's a boy holding the knife and his parents come up, all the police are around him, and that music is just swelling, and he's just standing there menacingly.
Yep.
It's great. Smash cut to the credits. Good stuff.
I really appreciated, even okay, so the scene where, what is his name, Danny Powers or whatever the fuck pseudo porn star name they gave the guy from this movie, when he gets up and steals the mic in karaoke and tells everybody about the horrible murders and gives
Tommy Doyle. He was the boy, the babysitted boy from the first movie. Yeah.
I don't know. It feels like such a comic book name or something like that. But God bless, Scott. Whatever, it's fine. Names are names. It's both kind of a bad and a good. Now just brush past the bad. It is kind of weird to grab a karaoke mic and tell everybody about a horrible trauma that happened and point and like put the spotlight on one of your friends that's the victim of the horrible thing that happened. That's a little bit of a dick move, but I mean, it pays off. It's one of those high risk, high rewards, and his friends didn't seem to mind. So, hey, whatever, man, if you're having fun. But the thing that I'd like to highlight is I love this idea of ghost story karaoke. I think this is something that more bars should do, where you just have karaoke and you put on some spooky music in the background and you just have people get on the mic and tell their version of a ghost story, whether it's something that really happened to them or just a story they've heard or something like that.
I would love that.
I don't know. If I owned a bar or a coffee house, I would, after watching this movie, I would be inspired to have ghost story karaoke night.
Yeah, that's cool.
I would totally go to something like that. Absolutely.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I don't even drink, and I would go to a bar to listen to a bunch of ghost stories over a course of a couple hours. Hell yeah.
Lori's reaction in the back of the truck when she sees the fire trucks going past, and she's just screaming, "No, let it burn!"
Yeah,
that's really good.
Well, that is kind of one of the themes of this movie, and I was hitting on it when we were watching it, but you know, you have movies that are like, fuck the police. Well, this is the first movie I think I've ever seen where it's fuck the fire department.
Right?
Those firefighters have just fucked everybody. They screwed the whole fucking town by being too good at their goddamn jobs.
Yeah.
And they're the first ones to find out how much they fucked everybody over.
Oh yeah, they find out very quickly. Yeah. They all kind of lollygagging outside the burning house anyways, which I guess if you're just letting it burn, then you would, but I don't know if your house is going up that badly. It seems like and you're out in the middle of nowhere. I don't know many, like, isn't it standard fire? Wouldn't they just let it burn? Anyway,
it's not.
Whatever.
They can't. Believe it or not. I had family that were firefighters. Nope, they still have to
what if they
try
just
to
aim the water just a little bit to the left? Oh, no. I missed.
Whoopsie.
Remember, they don't know that he's in there.
Yeah.
Let's hear some more good from Jamie.
Kyle Richards is in this movie, and I am a not-so-closeted Real Housewives fanatic, so I was super psyched to see her act in something where she's not a child. So that was cool.
Did you know that she is the actual
that?
original actor from the first Halloween movie, the little girl?
Not until you told me. No, I didn't know until you told me.
Who are you talking about?
Lindsay, the dark-haired previous victim of Michael Myers. The one who puts the bricks in the pillowcase and knocks them around and lifts his mask off his head. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. She was cool. Except she put too many pillows in the pillow, or too many bricks in the pillowcase. She didn't need that many bricks, but I mean, anyways, she was a cool character. I was kind of rooting for her. So
right, and also I really enjoyed how well the show showed cult mentality and how it starts and how it forms and how it can carry things way past where people would act on their own. So
I have some bad notes about the whole mob mentality thing on that here too, but it's in my good column is I can obviously in a post January 6th world you're familiar with that thing actually happening, and interestingly enough, this was filmed, I believe, in 2019 or 2020, and then
did you say post January world?
Post January 6th world.
Okay, because I was going to say, I think all of time is a post-January world.
No, this was filmed before January 6th and then came out the October after January 6th happened, and it's almost like a preview, like the zeitgeist, whatever is going on in the mind. It's very similar of people getting caught up in something that's not true and just going rage mode over it, and I thought that was very interesting whenever it actually came out.
What? Evil dies tonight. Evil dies tonight. Evil dies tonight. What? Evil dies tonight.
I was lost in my own regret.
You want to fucking kill someone? Come and get it. Take me.
I think it's really interesting that for Jamie, this mob mentality ended up in the good. And I understand why, because you're saying like they made a really good point of drawing your eye as the audience to this mentality and thinking about how quickly things can turn sour. Totally understand why that's in your good. For Keith, you're saying that it ended up in your bad column. For me, it ended up in ugly. And it's funny because it's in each of our three columns, I'm assuming, and we all have similar thoughts on it. We just categorized it differently.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's interesting in itself. Because to me, you're right that they did an effective job at pointing the spotlight on this really ugly thing. So I put it in ugly. And you're looking at it going, they did a really good job of this. So yeah, that's kind of cool. So I will hit on that. I mean, we can do that right now if you want, or we can hit it in the bad or the ugly or whatever. But I'm right there with you that that is a big message in this movie is how a mob can turn sour and a mob can hit unintended targets and the mob can hurt people that it didn't mean to, and why you calmer. That's why we have law. That's why we have rules, the social contracts, so that everybody can calm down and think for a minute. And you know what? If after you think you still want to do the thing, sure, whatever. But let's all shut the fuck up and not throw a random psych patient out of a window. Which I thought it was cool that I went back and watched a little bit of the first one after this, and that's the same actor and everything. It looks
he's
like
only there for a couple of seconds.
He's in the very first scene.
Yeah, he's briefly there, but it's him. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got the parasol or whatever, and he's always looking at Michael nervously. Maybe he knew deep down that Michael somehow indirectly was going to get his ass killed.
It's a fair assumption if you have to spend a lot of time next to fucking Michael Myers.
Yeah. Speaking of which, the fire department kills, we kind of hit on it. I thought those kills were a very dramatic and wonderful way to start a slasher movie like this. They were gruesome. They were in character for him. He wasn't like kung fu fighting and running at people, but he was still brutal as fuck. When we saw those first kills, I was cracking my knuckles and going, "Oh, we're in for another fucking great Halloween movie." I was disappointed at later points, but at this point early on with those fire department kills, I was like, "Oh fuck yeah, this is more Michael Myers."
Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the kills, which I mean, that's the namesake of this movie, right? It's Halloween Kills. The fucking
Evil dies tonight.
Evil dies tonight.
Of all the things that died tonight, evil was not one of them.
Yeah. The couple, the neighbors of Laurie Strode, when he's in their bathroom, did y'all notice he's actually in there bandaging his hand because the two fingers were shot off of it? That's why he was in that couple's bathroom. He comes out of there with his hand wrapped in a bandage. But that woman, after he kills her husband, it's terrible. It's like one of the worst things I can imagine, because I know what a glass cut feels like. He pulls that fluorescent light bulb out and smacks it on the counter and just like casually shoves it in her throat. It's, oh god, that could easily go in someone's bad or ugly column, but to me as a horror fan, I'm just like, that is fucking gnarly. But the scene that follows it, where he props her husband up on the table and he's just putting knives in his back, examining it, grabbing another knife, putting it in his back, taking a look. He almost looks like a child, like selecting his favorite crayon or something. It's so off-putting, so eerie, and she's still alive to watch that happen. It's truly horrific and creepy and scary.
And I like the couple. I don't know why I do this. I watch these movies and I'm like, I keep rooting like, oh, they're going to be the ones to get out. They're good. No, none of them. In this movie, he just slaughters fucking everybody.
Yes.
I don't know. I'd love to see the number count of kills that he had in like the first movie, how many kills per movie versus how many kills per movie in 2018 in this movie. Jesus Christ.
This one is the highest kill count of any Halloween movie.
I believe it. Because, I mean, even in the first scene with the firefighters, there's got to be at least 15 of them.
No, I think there's 7. I think there's 7 of them.
I don't know. When they come back to the scene later, it seems like there are even more than we see. Like we see like
Well,
seven on screen.
They were all chopped up.
Oh, okay. So I was just seeing arms and legs.
Yeah,
in different places,
right.
and my brain filled in the details. If AI was recreating this movie, that would have turned into more people because it would have said, "Oh, there's a leg there, so let's put the rest of the person there too."
Speaking of, you mentioned earlier the door to gun to face kill. That's an excellent, hilarious. Like I laugh and I'm like, that's awesome.
So yeah, if you haven't seen the movie and you're not worried about a minor spoiler, basically like there's a woman, the nurse / doctor woman is outside the car and she's got the gun in her hand and I think she's like reaching for the door or something and Michael kicks the door and it bumps her hand that has the gun in it and it swings her hand around and she shoots herself in the fucking head and just falls down. And it happens so quickly that like the movie doesn't like rewind and slow motion. You have to just piece together like what the fuck. Oh, she must have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even
and I never went back and watched it, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened, right?
yep.
So,
Even Michael Myers takes a second to like. He's like, huh, that worked
Whoa.
or whatever.
yeah, like you see it happen in action movies. You don't expect it to actually happen.
Yeah, he wasn't planning on killing her that way. He just wanted the gun to not hit him. And he was like, okay.
I imagine part of him's kind of disappointed, like,
Yeah.
I was going to play with her for a little while.
FYI, Kelly, 39 deaths in this movie.
Holy shit, that's a lot.
Yeah, and there was what, like maybe 4 or 5 in the first movie, if you count
7.
his sister at the beginning. There you go. Yeah. So I can't do any math, but that's at least double. So
Yeah, there is the list of deaths fandom wiki has all of the movies.
I've assumed there are websites that, like when a movie comes out, before any reviews are out, that website is probably updated with how many kills, their timestamps, and all. Horror and slasher fans are weird, and God bless you all. You all are very obsessive, as much as we are in Star Trek and shit, just different flavor.
Yep.
Halloween 2018 does not have a list on here.
Interesting.
That is the only one that doesn't have a list for whatever reason.
I say this, and they let me down. Never mind, horror fans, you're lazy. You don't come through when we need you. That movie's been out 7 years, and you haven't figured out a list for it. I'm sure it's somewhere. It's just not on that website. I'd like to point out that is a flip side to what you were all saying and what we were kind of talking about with the mob mentality. I think one of the things that this movie hits on as good, and I think they do a good job of building it, is the other side to mob mentality is community. And community overblown becomes the mob, but when it's community, early on when you have all the victims coming together to celebrate or to commiserate with each other, and they're all leaning on each other for support, and they're just being good friends to each other. That was wonderful. Even him getting up and stealing the mic and telling their story, like I said, it was a risky move, but it seemed to hit home and it made them feel valued and it brought the community together. And you see the power of like these people, when they're alone, they're targets. When they're together, they're the weapon. So it shows you that community can be a strength. You just have to be careful with how you wield that community weapon.
I like the focus on the mask being a driving motivator for Michael again, highlighted very clearly. There's 2 parts in this movie when that happens.
Yep.
When he's strangling Lindsay by the car, she starts to pull his mask up and she gets it up so far that he actually stops strangling her to get his true face back on.
This movie does a good job of, it answers the question that we've kind of had all along. Is Michael Myers just a man? Or is he something supernatural? This movie answers that. He's something supernatural. He is not just a man. So then you start thinking, because you see at the end of 2018, we saw him die. There's no logical reason why he should live through being burned in a fucking hellfire for, I mean, he was down there for at least a half hour before, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know, but he's been shot, he's been stabbed.
In a melty plastic mask.
Yeah, everything is melty on his body, from his toenails to his eyeballs. It's all fucking melty at this point, but he lived through it. And then we see at the end, he gets stabbed and shot dozens of times, and he just continues to keep walking. So now we're pretty much verified that this is not just a normal man. But then you think, well, then what's his weakness? How do you fucking kill him? We also learn that, if you're paying attention, his weakness is his mask. If you take his mask off, I wouldn't say he's 100% powerless, but I would say take his mask off, then shoot him in the fucking forehead. You might kill Michael Myers that way. At least now we have a plan. We know it starts with getting his fucking mask off, because then he'll at least be obsessed with his mask, and he won't be killing people because he'll only be thinking about his mask. So
Yeah, he's the boogeyman.
yeah, and I love it. They make him supernatural and they make him super powerful, and they show you a weakness if you're paying attention, all in the same movie. It answers the question in both ways, and I appreciated that.
Yeah, what I was going to say is the second part is when Karen takes his mask after the stairway fight with Allison, which is another scene that I really love. He's like, puts her boyfriend's head through the stairs up there, and he's like knocking him around, and she's like, no, come take me, and he has that pause for a second, and you see, it's rare to see, but you see his eye in the mask and a little glint, and he's like considering, like, do I want to stay here fucking with this kid, or do I want to go downstairs and get her? And then he drops the kid, he's standing at the stairs, the music swells, this is classic Halloween stuff. He takes the time to stop and break the kid's neck just to fuck with Allison on his way down. And then the mom comes out, pitchforks him, and takes the mask, which causes him to like stop everything and follow the mask. So, yeah.
Take the mask, send it to outer space. He'll spend his entire life trying to follow a life to become an astronaut. He'll never get approved.
Yeah.
Michael Myers solved.
And now we just figured out how It Follows came about.
Yeah. And what's that movie with the everybody goes to hell when they travel at warp?
I don't know what you're talking. Event Horizon? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, that's the movie I was thinking of. Yeah. I thought the callbacks were really tasteful, and they did a good job with when they brought, like, you could tell they would have loved to have Loomis in more of the cutscenes, but obviously, as far as I know, by this point, he had already passed away, the actor, right?
Yeah, he's long dead.
Yeah, so, rest in peace and all that stuff, but so they did a really good job of, when they brought it back, it was tasteful. They used shadows and lighting. As an audience member, I don't know what the fandom feels like, but coming from a non-fandom point of view, I thought it was well done and tasteful, and they brought him in when they absolutely needed him, because you needed Loomis's voice ringing in that cop's ears.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, he was right. Loomis was right all along. You know, that's the tagline to this, is Loomis was right all along, you stupid motherfuckers. And those kind of callbacks were really well done, where, like I said, they added scenes where Michael sees people in 1978, like this cop, that whole interaction they had in the alleyway. It felt very natural to me. It didn't feel like fan servicey. It felt like, we're expanding on things without retconning. This doesn't change Halloween 1978 at all.
Nope.
But it adds like an extra 10-second clip as to what's happening. And it looked totally believable. It felt you could have spliced that into the old movie and it probably would have worked just fine.
It also gives Hawkins a good motivation, and like you can sense the guilt. Like, I had a chance to Michael, Loomis was going to shoot Michael and I stopped it. And now look at what all this is happened because I stopped that. And
then it leans into, but unfortunately that pushes him into something that I'm going to bring up in a later category, which is, they get this really melodramatic cheese. Everybody, it's my fault. No, it's my fault. No, it's my fault. Everybody thinks it's their fault. And I'm just like, everybody shut up. Go to therapy after Michael's dead. Let's not talk about it right now.
Yeah, they start having
priorities.
The trauma Olympics a little bit over Michael Myers.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is so not like the Laurie Strode that I remember. The Laurie Strode I remember would have been like, shove those fucking emotions down into the pit of your stomach and go kill people.
Well, she doesn't have the pit of her stomach in this movie, so, that was taken out by Michael.
Yeah.
Just Michael Myers.
That's the end of my good.
This is my last good. Michael Myers in general, he's like the shining bright spot of this movie. Every scene pretty much concerning him, I'm on board with. It's kind of the movie around him that fills the other two categories for me.
Yeah, he's good. Michael Myers, the scenes that he's in are kind of the highlights for the most part. Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and talk about the bad. Who wants to go first?
I want to start this one because you guys were talking about the firemen and dying, all the way they died and how that was awesome. The fucking fire hose, Michael would not have been, like, that was not a fire hose. That was a regular hose.
Yeah.
Fire hoses will knock your shit off. Like, it will strip the clothes from your body.
That's just how badass he is, dude.
It'll literally
He's
strip the clothes from
Jamie.
your body. It'll strip the skin from your bones.
No, Jamie, you don't understand. It's the elvish mask.
Yeah.
That's
right.
That's
Obviously.
how I got there.
He's got floorboards that don't have holes that you can see him through, and then a fire hose that'll knock everybody else over, but it's like a regular garden hose.
I 100% agree, but it's just funny that the things that we fail to suspend disbelief with, all this other shit is acceptable, but literally the first time I watched that, I'm like, that hose would have knocked him on his ass. It's like, it's a simple physics thing, so,
I think not only is it a simple physics thing, but literally, like, it's a fire hose and it's running like a garden hose. Like, there's almost no pressure behind it at all. And you're just like, no, that's not right.
Maybe there's a difference, like, if we have anybody that we know that is on a fire department, maybe they could answer this question, but...
I do.
I don't know, is a fire truck, does it have less pressure because it's not pulling from the city water supply? Because out where they're at, I don't know if they would have, like, an actual, like, high-pressure system out that far out of town, would they? Because they were kind of at a little farmhouse in the middle of fucking nowhere. So
the trucks are still very pressurized. Very, very pressurized. They might run out of water. You need to have a water truck to keep filling the truck, but they are still very highly pressurized.
I would think so, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They take multiple people to hold them.
I mean, I'm with you. I'm just trying to, and I don't know why it matters.
I want to do my main one next. The fact that Michael Myers as an escapee is shown on TV, and the mob mistakes this guy that literally looks like Danny DeVito as the Penguin from Batman Returns, and they're like, "It's Michael Myers," and chase him through the hospital. I cannot deal with it. I cannot get over it. I cannot accept it. My brain won't do it. Sorry, guys, you tried.
No.
How are you confusing Danny DeVito waddling motherfucker with Michael Myers? Like, did you? and like you said, they have him on TV next to each other at one point.
So these punks,
Yes.
I don't know if they wanted money or they wanted something more sexual.
1.5 foot difference in height and
At least, Jamie Lee Curtis and a couple of other characters, they even have an incredulous look on their face. They're like, that's not him. Like, but, so at least there's
like,
that.
What are you doing?
But I am.
You fucking morons. That doesn't even look close to him.
Yeah, I am that character. I am like, it's not him. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Well, that kind of leads into one of my bads. And it starts with, the original note is Hawkins' decision-making. Because the officer Hawkins, his decision-making from the get-go, since we've seen him get on screen in 2018 and in this one, has been piss poor. So let's look at like his inciting incident in his life.
Even in his flashbacks, his decision-making is terrible.
Yeah, that flashback where he meets Michael Myers, and so let's run down the list of what happened. He shot his friend in the neck.
Anyway, I started blasting. Bang! Bang!
Then when Michael Myers, like, does his thing and walks right past him, he doesn't shoot. He delays shooting Michael for several seconds and lets him leave. And then after Michael leaves and his friend is dying his last breath and he's like begging for comfort, he just ignores his fucking friend and just stares at the door instead. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, like, I understand you've turned into a good person later in life, but right now you should never have been a cop. You should never, but maybe that's realism.
Since you brought that scene up, I just want to say, back to just a slight little good, the way the Michael Myers actor in this, his name is James Jude Courtney, I believe. The way he mimics the original motions, that shot of him in the flashback just casually walking down the stairs while he's being shot at, it just looks like you could have lifted it from the other movie. The way he holds his shoulders and he's just like, hum-da-dum, like just taking a casual stroll while being shot at. It's good stuff. But anyway.
It kind of blends into bad decision-making by a lot of people in this entire fucking town. It's no wonder why Michael Myers comes to this little hamlet, because everybody in this town is a fucking moron. I mean, even God bless her, Lori. She was one of the smarter people early on, but she gets stuck in the hotel or in the hospital room doing the oppression Olympics with the cop that's her ally. Yeah. So like her decision making is not great in this movie either. Everybody, their brains fell out for this movie, and I guess that's commentary.
Well, that kind of goes into mine because I have in my bad the most of the acting and the dialogue in my bad.
It's very bad.
I think it's just this movie is written shitty.
Yeah, the dialogue is fucking
The dialogue
terrible.
is awful. The plot, the concept of the plot is great, but the way it's executed is bad. It's just like,
yeah, exactly. If I tell you the scenes, you're looking forward to watching it and you're going, "Oh, that sounds fucking cool." And then you watch it and you're like, "Oh, all right, that happened." but
Yeah.
it's not.
Even the poignant, I laugh at the quote unquote poignant moment when the victim of the mob, Danny DeVito, falls from the window ledge. And when he smacks the ground, they're all shocked looking at it, but they show him and he's twitching. It's funny looking to me. It looks like a comic, like, just the way that it looks. I know it's supposed to be horrible, but it looks like a dummy and like the hand is twitching, and I laughed out loud.
And it's twisted in a way that probably wouldn't actually happen because he didn't hit anything on the way down. He just came straight down. And
yeah, he looks like when Peter Griffin falls down. It looks like that. With the arm behind the head, and it's comical.
Ow. For some reason, it just occurred to me with you calling the little guy Danny DeVito and us thinking of the shape as like this big hulking mask. I'm thinking of the movie Twins with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito.
Right.
And imagine characters in that movie confusing the two of them.
It's Arnold Schwarzenegger and chasing Danny DeVito.
Ah, get him! And Danny DeVito is like, what the fuck, man?
I don't know if they wanted money or they wanted something more sexual.
I thought it was a bad that one of their, when they finally get the mob together and their plan was very reminiscent of Ray from Ghostbusters. That, all right, are you ready? Are you ready?
Get him!
Get him! And it was like, what are we going to do when we get him? I don't know. What do you do when you catch the car as a dog? You don't know. You're just trying to get it.
The evil dies tonight shit is so eye-rollingly cringe to me. Like,
Evil dies tonight!
Yeah, that is underlined on my page, the bad. And it feels like a marketing slogan that they were like, we have to make this the tagline of the movie, so they had everybody repeating it. They wanted the fandom to go out in the streets and evil dies tonight, not realizing how fucking stupid and cheesy it sounds.
Right.
It doesn't sound empowering, it sounds stupid.
I'll tell you this.
Commented once, if one person said it, yes. Repeatedly as a mantra, no.
Yeah, maybe one person said it once and then somebody whispers it at the end when they're trying to get inspiration or something. Okay, now it has a little, but everybody chanting it as they're trying to kill Danny DeVito, that it didn't make me feel power for that statement.
Even the large amount of the fandom that likes it makes fun of the evil dies tonight. There's a lot of posts that says cheesy fries tonight and burger and fries tonight. Like a lot of
burger and fries tonight. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, the internet can be a magical place sometimes.
It's so bad. I hate that it's such a big part of this movie. It's bad. That is very bad. Huge bad.
I thought Sandra's fake neck was off-putting.
You should be off-putting.
When they have the glass sticking out of it, it was very clearly like a rubber neck, and it didn't look very realistic. And it took away from an otherwise very gruesome scene that it was just so off-putting. Like, whatever. They could have had her pull it out and just blood gushing out. That would have been fine. Whatever. But on the Evil Dies Tonight scene, I just wanted to bring that up because I want to come back to the Evil Dies Tonight. And just, it kind of highlights the big problem I have with this movie is that it fell out of horror and into cheesy horror. Like, I was expecting Ash from Evil Dead to show up at some point. Yeah. Like, it did not... this movie it reeked of stinky blue cheese the whole movie long, it felt like. Except, if Michael is by himself, then the cheese goes away for a little bit. As soon as another person in the town... it's like he invaded the Friends universe or something like that. And all of a sudden, there's a laugh track whenever somebody else appears, and he's like, what the fuck? Maybe that's why he wants to kill everybody, because they're all so cheesy. And their decision-making is horrible, and he's like, I'm actually helping the human race by getting rid of the slowest buffalo in the herd.
Yeah, weirdly, this movie didn't have me rooting against Michael quite as hard as the rest of them did.
No. And yeah, it's just, the cheese comes through in that Evil Dies Tonight, and it permeated everything. Be ready to be complete, to roll your eyes a lot before you watch this movie.
I think it's kind of, it's falls into that same trap of so many sequels we've watched recently, where it's like, because the last one was popular, it goes too big and tries to cater to more of a mainstream, wider audience, and loses some of what makes it good by adding in, we got to add in humor for the crowd, and it feels like probably a little bit of too much Danny McBride crept into this one, because it's the same exact creative team, but this feels more in line with what you would expect a Halloween movie that Danny McBride and David Gordon Green give you. The first one is like shockingly good from that team. This one is like, okay. I guess when you take the guardrails off, this is what these guys are gonna deliver, and yeah, it's kind of I'll talk more about that in my actual ugly, but I don't have any more bads. Let's hear some more bads from you two.
I've got two more. What do you got, Jamie?
I've got one more, so I can finish mine out really quick. I love horror movies, I do, but this one was overly violent, and that takes it out of horror for me and more into slasher, and like the not good slasher. So it was just a little ridiculously violent, and I did not appreciate that.
I can see it.
The kills were very gruesome. The gore part of, like, I don't appreciate gore generally unless it adds to the plot, and this one, it didn't really. Maybe that's why, but it didn't trigger like an anxiety response in me. It triggered a cheese response. Like, I feel like I was eating too much sugar watching this movie. I don't know. It's hard to express.
To me,
but it
made it very unbelievable. And I'm not even I'm not even to the gore part, because that's in another category for me. Just the sheer amount of kills and the way a lot of the kills were done is just
over the top.
Over the top, exactly.
Yep. My last two bad notes. One is the stupid gays. That's exactly how I wrote it. And as a member of the LGBT community myself, I feel okay to point out that those two gay guys they kind of deserve to die. And not because they're gay, obviously. Not because they're gay. It's because they are so fucking stupid. Their town is under lockdown. There are people dying everywhere. They don't lock their doors. They don't turn off their lights. They don't protect themselves in any way.
And they live in his house.
They live in his house. They know about the legend of Michael Myers, and they decide to get fucking wasted and just let it all hang out with their doors open, wearing silk robes, no weapons nearby, nothing like that. I'm sorry. What did you think was going to happen? So it's just that I started out going, oh my God, I love these guys' life. Like, they are painting this gay couple as they're living a dream life. They have a nice house. They're filled with a bunch of media and art and music that they love. They're having a great time with each other. They respect each other. Everything's wonderful. But then they're fucking morons. But then again, they live in this town. So, I mean, I think you have to, like, drop your brain off at the city limits when you first move in.
Maybe there's some sort of, like, something in the water that just kills brain cells. Maybe that's what the problem is.
Don't drink the water, my friends.
Not in Haddonfield.
My last bad is the main theme music. I'm sorry. Like, the music is also in the good, because some of the music was really well done, but I didn't like the way they redid the main theme. Like, part of what makes this classic is the main theme stays the same.
Yes.
And whoever did the music for this, I think it was his son?
It was John Carpenter and his son, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I imagine maybe that's his son's hand in it, but it had, like, a choir sting halfway through the main theme. But and I thought, like, if that sting had happened once or twice at, like, big moments, that would have been really cool. But it was just part of the song now. That part of the expression that you would hear this choir.
Yep.
I can't remember if it was more of a sting or a swell, but it just kind of came out of nowhere to me. And I don't know. I'm like, either really redo it or leave it the fuck alone. And I think part of what makes this series so wonderful is that theme song has kind of stayed the same. It doesn't need a choir. It doesn't. I don't know. I just didn't appreciate.
I have to
the music
agree
much
with you about the theme that like didn't need that injected all over the place to it. It's just another example of this movie going over the top and trying to do too much.
Yeah, it felt like we just have to add something. No, you don't.
Yeah.
No, you don't. You could have just given us more of the same thing, and we would have been very happy.
No reason, no conscience, no understanding, and even the most rudimentary sense of life or death, of good or evil, right or wrong. Life or death, of good or evil, right or wrong. Life or death, of good or evil, right or wrong. It's purely and simply evil.
All right, it's time to talk about the ugly.
I only have two, so somebody else give me one.
I also only have two.
I'll go first. I only have one, but it encompasses many things, and it's just the tonal whiplash of this movie, not just from the last movie to this one, but within the movie itself. It goes from, like, reverent to scary to serious to zany to kooky to back to trying to be it's all over the place, and That in conjunction with even the pacing, like it starts out with the flashback, and then we go to the trauma survivors at the bar, and then we finally see what's happening at the burning house like 20-30 minutes into the movie. It's just it's a messy movie. It's all over the place, and it's like, come on, man. It's there's elements of this movie that it could have come together and been pretty great, but it just doesn't do it, and it's all over the place, and it's very unfortunate.
Yeah. So my first ugly is how Lori shoots up. I don't know if y'all noticed this. I pointed it out at the time.
Slams it into her.
Yes, she has a needle full of a substance that she needs to get into her body, and she grabs it with her fist like it's a fucking knife. She bends over and jams it into her ass cheek and goes, ah, and screams out and then plunges the plunger hard. And I'm like, Jesus, woman, that is not how you inject yourself with medication. Do you not know a single person that has diabetes or anything you've never seen? Have you never been to a hospital ever in your life? Like, it was, and that was a microcosm of this movie, your whole over the top, that it was like, she didn't need to do that. She could have just shot it into herself calmly, and you could see her hand shaking from her nerves. That would have been much more telling, and that would have been much more compelling for me as an audience member than her bending over, grimacing, and slam. Ah! I just shot myself with painkillers!
But she doesn't even know that that's what it is. She doesn't know.
Do you even know what that is?
It makes the pain go away.
Oh, yeah. She grabs a random thing and starts that, yep. Yeah, she's...
All she knew was something that was going to knock her the fuck out. She was going to take 3 steps and crumble to the floor. She had no clue.
Yeah.
So, Jamie, what's one of your uglies?
The knife to the eye, that death, that, like you said it about the glass in the neck, the knife to the eye, that one was so fake it took me out of it. And it was egregiously bad to me.
In the car, when he just like slides it into his face?
Yeah. And then you could like pretty much see...
that. I can see that image in my mind.
Yeah, you can see the prosthetic face that's attached to his real face. And
yeah, that's the kind of scene, that's what I'm thinking of, is that's the kind of gore that if you were to tell me that's in this movie, I would have been wincing and going, oh, I don't want to watch that shit. And watching it, I was like, it didn't trigger a yuck response in me. It triggered a almost bored response, like, oh, he died, let's move on.
And
Which
then
is horrible, but
it was the other is the excess gore. Like, there was so much gore. Like the body that fell from the window, and yet instead of being a flat with blood surrounding it, pancakiness, it's all twisted like a cartoon. Or
it's like a Lego character where its legs and arms pop off of it.
Exactly. Like every death, it went from believable to exceedingly gory just for gore's sake, and I hate that in movies. So those are my two bad.
My last bad is just the mob justice. I'm sorry. My last ugly is the mob justice. That it is one of the most powerful and destructive tendencies of humankind to form a mob to go after somebody, because like it's dangerous. Because anybody that's been in an online argument or been in a fight with somebody where you know, quote unquote, that you're right. And it fills you with righteous fury. And I've always felt that righteous fury is one of the most intoxicating feelings a human being can feel. Because it's like, I'm angry and I'm allowed to be aggressive and violent, but I have a good reason. I'm allowed to feel this horrible, negative, adrenaline-filled emotion because this is the right thing to do. And it's so dangerous. And I don't know, even in online arguments, if we use that as a mini micro version of this, that like you can be right in an argument. I don't know if you all have had this happen as like I have. I get into some online arguments. I have in my day. Keith, you don't strike me as the kind that does. Jamie, I know you do. But there have been times where I will get into an online argument with somebody and I know that my position is the morally right or the intellectually correct position. I'm not even speaking like less biased, but I'm feeling very confident that I'm on the right side. And I lay into the other person and I'm a little bit snarky with them or whatever and yada yada. And at the time, I'm hitting send with like, yeah, take that, dickhead. And then like a couple hours later, I'll get a notification of somebody responding to it. And I'll go back and I'll read my comment and I wince at my own comment. I might not delete it, but there's part of me that looks at it and goes, I could have said that a little bit I didn't have to be necessarily kind, but I didn't have to be as cruel as
Yeah.
I was.
This is why Kelly's
And-
kinder than I am, because I look at it and I go, I should have been meaner.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's also a difference that you're in an online space discussing and you're a woman, so you probably get a lot more bad shit being thrown at you that I do. I mean, I'm a white guy. Surprising to some of our listeners, I hear, but I'm a white guy. And that as a white guy, I don't get. I mean, what are they going to say to me? You're part of the dominant demographic, you dumbass. Like,
Right.
what, you know?
Yep.
So, yeah, that's The Righteous Fury. I think it's an ugly, but I think they did a decent job in the movie of showing it.
Right.
It's just that there's no way that we can talk about the mob justice.
Evil dies
anything
tonight!
But an ugly way. Yeah, I mean, hopefully. I mean, that's just as cheesy as probably some of the chants that they might have been chanting on January 6th.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
And January 6th, we don't even need to point at that as the only indication. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like,
sure.
it's not like human beings were calm before then.
No.
I remember reading The Expanse, and you probably haven't gotten to this point. It's not a big spoiler, but one person describes humanity to another person as, what do they call them? Murder apes that want to fuck. And how much of human nature can you boil down to that? And this is giving into one of our baser desires. This is one of our more, and being able to not give in to mob justice is what makes us human and makes us, transcend the animal mentality. So,
And the reason why I put it in the good as opposed, because I agree 100% with what you're saying, is that it's only in media where you get the opportunity to look at it for what it really is.
oh, absolutely. I love the fact that you put it in the good. That makes absolute sense. I know why you did it, and I think that's interesting as hell that we each have it in a different category for totally valid reasons.
And pretty much all the same reason, just in different views on it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we're picking different words out of the sentence. The movie did a good job of displaying a bad thing about humanity that is very ugly.
Yeah.
And you focused on the good, Keith focused on the bad, and I focused on the ugly. But we all have the same message that be careful getting involved in a mob because you might do things you regret.
Yes.
So those are the good, the bad, and the ugly thoughts about Halloween Kills. And now we have a bunch of questions to ask ourselves. Really, only 3 and 1 question, which some might call that 4, but it's really 3 and 1. The first question of it is...
Beautiful job there, Kelly.
Why do you do this?
Yay, I make it simple. I draw a line like you guys explaining the timeline of the Halloween franchise when I explain that we have 4 questions. You gotta keep it real simple for the audience. So the first question is... If we replaced the entire cast of this movie with Muppets and we left one actor as a human, who would the human actor be?
There's one correct answer for this movie. It's
Last movie you said there were 2 correct answers, so which one is it for this one?
it's the fucking guy that they mistake for Michael Myers. It's the only human.
That was mine. That was mine too. Yep.
Oh God!
A mob
That
of
makes this movie
Muppets.
whole. It's so dark. It's so dark. The only human unalives himself out of a 4th-story building because of the Muppet mob chasing
Yes,
him.
Evil
dies tonight.
I would
Evil dies tonight.
fall out of my chair laughing if I watched
I
that.
also feel like a lot of these characters were basically Muppets in human form.
Me.
Yeah, yeah, they are already Muppets. Me. That's good. Yeah, Beaker. Yeah. Everdurst to Durkin.
Yeah, even Durkin. All right, so the second question that we ask is, if this movie had a promotional popcorn bucket, what would it look like?
I don't feel like
I don't know.
nothing
The mask
jumps out.
again. I feel boring.
Yeah, right.
I want to reach into Michael's brain and eat the contents as popcorn and and snacks.
Maybe variant buckets. The 3 masks, which are the 3 main masks from Halloween 3, which I'll make you guys watch one day. The witch, the skeleton, and the pumpkin. The kids
They're
that
not involved in this one at all.
yeah, they are. That's what the kids were wearing, and he puts their masks
Oh.
on the dead bodies at the playground.
Oh yeah.
It's like an homage to Halloween
Okay.
3. So you could have a
Yeah,
variant.
see, that's cool. There's a callback that we didn't even notice as non-fans of the other movies. Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing. So
You could do the hospital.
Eating popcorn out of the house. Or the guy's cracked open head. How about that? Danny DeVito's cracked open head is what you eat your popcorn out of.
A fire truck. You get a fire truck of popcorn. And with a hose of butter.
At some point, the marketing team has to just bite the bullet and go with the obvious. Like, give it to them in a little plastic jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah.
Like an actual cup, the thing that kids would have, So maybe this is the one where they're like, well, we can't really put Evil Dies Tonight as a popcorn bucket. And that's the marketing phrase. So let's just give them fucking jack-o'-lanterns, plastic. The last question out of the first three questions before we ask the final question is, what is your MVP? The most valuable part. It could be a person, it could be a character, it could be something esoteric like the color grade. But what is your most valuable part of Halloween Kills? Don't all jump over each other trying to answer this question.
Y'all go first before me.
What was your favorite part of this dog turd you saw on the side of the road?
I'm going to go with the fact that I got to see Kyle Richards act instead of just be a housewife. So
there you go. Pleasant surprise.
I'm going to hit on the actual message. I think that the filmmakers, even though they faltered in how they did it, I think warning people against mob mentality in the age of social media is a good, worthwhile message to have in a movie. So even though they didn't land the landing as well as I would hope that some of the people walking away from this might reevaluate some of their allegiances and what they're willing to give for those allegiances and such. So
I'm going to say Michael Myers. Michael Myers, he is the highlight of the movie for me. Everything that they show him gives some kind of either little hint about how he operates or like a flagrant, like you said, we're in supernatural territory now. He's obviously more than a man. Aside from the gore, I think all his kills are good, even if, the effects might push it over the top. Michael Myers is the, well, maybe not redeeming factor, but the most pleasant factor. Like, you could probably, I've watched this movie several times. Spoiler alert, I'll probably watch it again at some point of my own volition, but a lot of the times I look up scenes of this movie and watch them, and they're almost exclusively Michael Myers scenes.
Yeah, I mean, he is the most valuable part in that way. Like, watching the movie, he's the most enjoyable thing of the movie, is his stalking and such, but
I am going to say that maybe you shouldn't ever say that without context to anybody, Keith.
Which part?
I look up scenes from the Halloween movies, but they're just the Myers parts.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that does paint a really strange image afterwards.
I won't tell my therapist.
And really, with all of these questions don't really matter, because really what it comes down to is, when you watched Halloween Kills, did you have a good time, and would you give it a thumbs up?
You really want to do this? Here. Now, yes. Okay, let's do it.
I am so torn on this one because, like I said, I do appreciate it as a slasher movie. One of these days, I'm going to make you watch one of the terrible Friday the 13th movies that have like terrible dialogue and shitty acting and like bozo characters and just weird shit going on, and you'll kind of see what I'm talking about. But as I said while I was thinking about it, because when we started recording, I wasn't sure which way I was going to go even. The tonal whiplash of the movie, the messiness of it, the Evil Dies Tonight bullshit, blind test, if there's a person standing there that I don't know their taste or interest, I'm not going to recommend this movie to them. I'm not going to say, you should watch Halloween Kills, it's a good movie. So it's technically a thumbs down from me. However, well, as I said, I'll probably watch this again at some point of my own free will, and if you're a slasher horror fan, you'll probably get something to like out of this, but officially, I'm gonna have to give this one a thumbs down, even though I would watch it again, and I would recommend it to certain horror fans. Not a good movie, I can see that.
Yeah.
Not a good movie. What about you, Jamie?
I would have to go thumbs down. I love horror movies, but I like them to scare me, and I did not at any point in this movie feel scared. I felt like I was watching some dumb movie, and that is not what I'm looking for. Yeah.
Hey, guess what? You were watching a dumb movie.
I was.
So
exactly.
Checks out.
But that's when I'm watching a horror movie, I want my blood to be pumping. I want to be like checking the windows when I go to bed afterwards. I want it to stick with me a little bit. And there was no tension for me in this movie at all. It was like just plodding along the whole way through. So thumbs down. Cal?
That statement that you said about I want to be checking my windows afterwards and such, that makes me think maybe that's why I don't consider myself a horror fan, because that's so alien to me, and it's probably very prevalent in the horror and thriller community, that kind of thing. And I'm like, so y'all just out there wishing for anxiety, because that's all anxiety is. Like, I
want
take pills to
manufactured
avoid it.
I want manufactured anxiety as opposed to my brain
Yes,
coming up with reasons
yeah.
to be anxious about other things.
100%. I just want to say that that's literally it for me, because it's like, well, this is controlled anxiety. I know where it's coming from. I know why I'm scared. I know why I'm in fight or flight. When it's just for whatever reason, I'm like, fuck this, man. This sucks. It's like that.
Exactly.
So it's reclaiming power over the anxiety,
Yes.
that this is the anxiety I can control because it's not real, and I know how to, even if it were real, I know how to counteract it, that kind of.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, thumbs down. I didn't have a good time watching this movie. The best parts were Michael Myers, but even his parts were not his finest work. And yeah, which is sad, because I enjoyed the first one. I hope the third one picks up the pace a little bit and we start enjoying it again, because the first movie really made me look forward to this franchise, and this movie kind of let me down. But I appreciate a good message, so more messages about people not being mobs and lynching people and throwing Danny DeVito out windows. He might have his problems, but he's not that bad. We don't need to be throwing Danny DeVito out a window.
I think he's a treasure. Never throw Danny DeVito out a window. Yeah.
These pieces of garbage, they don't know who the hell they're dealing with.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've enjoyed what I see him in, so I mean, I was just,
Anyway, you guys all think I'm a hero, and I'll accept that responsibility.
just in case he's somehow some kind of secret asshole.
I'm
I don't know.
I'm the trash man right there.
What do they call that?
Asshole.
What does they call that? The soup duck or something phenomenon? Where there was like a prominent internet figure. It's the law. It's kind of the law. It's kind of like Poe's law or something like that, where anytime there's a new figure that is brought to prominence and they look like a very wholesome creature or a wholesome person, a wholesome person, it's just a matter of time until you find out some kind of horrible quality about their life or something they do, and they're now a despised member of the community. I think they call it the soup duck.
I thought it was.
Nobody's ever heard of this?
I know what you're talking about. I thought it was the boat duck for some reason, but something to do with
something
the duck.
like that. Yeah, something to do with the duck. But yeah, so that's why I'm saying that about Danny DeVito. As far as I can tell, I've enjoyed everything he's been in, but I don't know. I don't know the dude, so whatever. Don't come for me with pitchforks. Learn the lesson from Halloween Kills and don't come for us. Actually, yeah, bring all your friends. Have them all hate watch and hate listen. I'm down with that. But unless we have anything else to add, I think that kind of sums up our thoughts on Halloween Halloween Kills. Anything else you want to add before we take this ship into its dock?
Evil dies tonight.
Evil dies tonight.
You heard how sad?
Jamie.
Yeah.
Jamie, you gotta finish.
Evil dies
Evil
tonight.
dies tonight. Let's just chant ourselves out.
Evil dies tonight. Evil dies tonight.
Evil dies tonight.
If you don't stop this, I'm going to call the police. You go ahead, call them!